Hello and welcome. So this video is going to be all about Ivan the Terrible's wives. Now, King Henry VIII of England is famous for having 6 wives, but Ivan the Terrible also had 6 wives, but he may have had 8. But historians are not sure about whether the 7th of 8th of his wives actually existed. Now, Henry VIII's little rhyme for his wives was divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, survived. Ivan the Terrible's rhyme for his wives goes died, 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 sent to a convent, survived. Anastasia was the first wife of Ivan the Terrible. She was described as being not that beautiful, but she did seem to have some sort of calming influence over Ivan, and he did adore her. Even though while he was married to Anastasia, his personality wasn't that great, after her death it completely changed. So Ivan and Anastasia were married on the 3rd of February 1547 and they had 6 children together. She had actually been selected for Ivan from all the women who had been brought to the Kremlin for selection. How this happened was all the noble families in Russia would send their eligible daughters to the Kremlin so that they can be presented to the Tsar, and then the Tsar will choose which one he wanted for his wife. It is believed that there were somewhere between 500 and 1,500 possible wives for Ivan to choose from. Now, Anastasia died on the 7th of August 1560 after becoming ill, and Ivan was beside himself. And he thought that Anastasia had been poisoned by the boyars. Now, Ivan did not have any evidence for this, but he still had many boyars tortured and executed. So Maria was the second of Ivan the Terrible's wives, and he married her in 1561, a year after his first wife died. Again, all their eligible daughters were presented to Ivan so that he could choose his wife, and Ivan was apparently smitten by Maria's beauty. But he soon came to regret his marriage, as Maria was seen as being illiterate and vindictive. Maria was pretty much hated by her subjects, and they viewed her as manipulative and witch-like. Maria died on the 1st of September 1569. It was rumoured that Ivan had poisoned her, but there is no evidence for this, and Ivan even had people tortured on suspicion of assassinating Maria. So Martha was the 3rd wife of Ivan the Terrible. They were married on the 28th of October 1571, but Martha died 16 days later on the 13th of November 1571. It is said that Martha was accidentally poisoned by her mother, who was given her potions to help with her fertility. So Martha's death actually increased Ivan's paranoia, and he had many people put to death, including the brother of his second wife Maria, who he had impaled. So Anna was the 4th wife of Ivan the Terrible. So after the deaths of his first 3 wives, Ivan was finding it difficult to secure another marriage. But this was not because of the death of his first 3 wives. This was because the Russian Orthodox Church would not allow you to marry for a 4th time. Ivan said that he was actually allowed to marry for the 4th time because he didn't actually consummate his 3rd marriage, so that one didn't really count. But the church didn't really think so, so Ivan married Anna on the 29th of April 1572 without the church's permission. Ivan soon began to tire of Anna, so he sent her to a convent. She died on the 5th of April 1626. Just like the previous Anna, Ivan married this Anna without the church's permission. They married in January 1575, but then Ivan decided that he didn't want to be with this Anna, so he had her sent to a monastery to become a nun. She died sometime between 1576 and 1577. Maria was the 6th wife of Ivan the Terrible. They married in 1581, but Ivan didn't actually like Maria all that much. By 1582, he was suggesting to Queen Elizabeth I of England that he would divorce Maria and marry Elizabeth's relative Mary Hastings instead, but this did not happen. Now, Maria did give birth to a son, so this spared her the humiliation of being banished from the court. But after Ivan's death in 1584, or he did not leave Maria any property in his will. In 1591, Maria and Ivan's son Dmitri died of an epileptic fit. There was an investigation into Dmitri's death, but Maria and her brothers supported the rumour that Dmitri's death was actually a political murder. Maria and her brothers were called to Moscow, where they were accused of criminal negligence. Maria's brothers were sent to prison and she was made a nun. When the pretender known as False Dmitri appeared, Maria legitimised him by claiming that he was her son, and he became Tsar. All of her family members were freed and they were given back their property. So the two not confirmed marriages of Ivan the Terrible were to Valesia Melentiva and Maria Dolgorukova. Now, there is actually no contemporary evidence for either of these two. Valesia's story goes that she was a Ukrainian or a Georgian slave in the Russian court. Ivan decided to have an affair with her and free her from slavery. Ivan married Valesia, and she was the only consort of his that he loved after his first wife. The story goes that Valesia had an affair with a prince just after her marriage to Ivan, and Ivan found out, so he had her lover impaled while she watched, and then Valesia was sent to a convent. Now, it is believed that Valesia was a made-up person because the only sources that she appears in are from the 18th and 19th century. So evidence of Maria only appears in the 19th century as well. It is said that it was revealed that Maria had had a lover before her marriage to Ivan, because on their wedding night he found out that she was not a virgin, so he had her drowned. It is thought that these two wives were made up to make Ivan seem just a little bit more terrible than what he already was. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.